Hello and welcome to a very busy Snetterton for the classic Team Lotus Festival. This is the Elise Trophy. Every year the Lotus community come out in full force to support the Elise Trophy, and some members have been here since Thursday, in particular this lot here who have travelled all the way from Ireland. How you doing, guys? So let's come and have a chat with you over here. What brings you to the track this weekend?
Well, we're here to have a good time. We're here to rock the place out, and we're here to support Pat McBennett, our friend here, who's competing over the weekend. So.
And you're all camping. This is the Irish hospitality behind us.
Yes, it is. This is Irish headquarters behind us here.
And what goes on in the Irish headquarters? Should we ask somebody else? Let's come over here. What goes on in the Irish headquarters?
We just sit down, relax, have a good time.
Read some
That's
books,
it. Read some books.
Poetry, that sort of thing. Politics, the usual things that we get up to.
Yes, a lot of politics.
And then we go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, it all sounds very civilised. I'm sure it really is. And these are all your cars that we've seen down here, aren't they?
Yes. It's very sure that.
Let's find somebody else who might chat to me. Over here, no offence. Tell us, you've been here since Thursday for the track day. Have you actually taken part in the track day?
No, I was meant to, but my Lotus broke, as most Lotuses break.
Oh dear.
Yes.
So you haven't had a chance. And what would you ever have a race in the Elise Trophy?
No, I wouldn't be good enough. In lightweight cars, which gain their speed through lightweight, you can't sit and have 4 burgers every night, as we've been doing pretty solidly since we got here.
From burgers and poetry. It sounds like fun. Well, I'm going to leave this lot to it with their burgers and their poetry. Find us some other members. Well, I found another member of Lotus Club Ireland. It's Martin Donnelly. Martin, what brings you over here?
Well, I live here. That's a good starting point, isn't it? I live about 4 kilometres away, and I'm an honorary member of Lotus Club Ireland. I was inducted last year at Downington Park. They came across and gave me 6 bottles of beer, and then I said, "You're a member." And that was it. So I've been across to Ireland, to Dublin, met the boys, and we had a track day up at Kirkstone last year, which was very good, and we've been keeping in touch ever since.
And I understand you're doing a Q&A session here later.
Pardon?
Did you know about that?
No, but I do now, apparently. You know me, I like to talk about my specialised subject, which is myself.
When we can understand you, we like to hear it.
Before I get the beer down my neck, that is. No, it's been great. It's nice to see everybody here. Obviously, it's a big weekend. Paul Golding and the boys from Lotus on track. I put a lot of effort into it. And it's nice to see the fruits of that. And you know, it's Norfolk. It's the home of Lotus cars. There's a lot of cottage farms business based on that, and they're all here this weekend. I hope that, you know, everybody here goes away with a lot of good memories. I'm driving an F1 car tomorrow myself, just for old time's sake, so that'll be nice for me. But if I'm driving Mario Andretti's car, and obviously my old car will be out there because I can no longer get into it because I'm a little bit too tall for now. And as I said, it's going to be a great day. Hopefully the Lord shines on us and we get some decent weather. The crowd will be even bigger.
We've seen some of the action down on the campsite. We've met a few of the faces, but now it's time to catch up with what's going to happen in the race. We'll be bringing you just some of the highlights of this race. You can see car number 33 behind me, Mick Edwards, who's got an onboard camera. Ben Pitch is down here in 4th position. He was hoping for a dry race, but with the heavens about to open, he may well be disappointed. Then, of course, James Knight giving us a wave in his pinky car and taking pole position. We've got one of our favourite drivers of the season, Marcus Jewell. As they lined up, the rain started again and Jewell made a good getaway, as did Knight, who was in contention for 2nd place until the Russell chicane, as Quick made a decisive move into the first right-hander. Jewell was using the damp conditions and squabbling pack to make his getaway. Quick soon slotted into 3rd as Edwards passed Pitch, whilst Myers started to fall down the order, putting air between himself and his followers. Quick was, however, unable to make an impression on the leaders as Knight chased down Jewell, getting to within a couple of seconds and staying there for a few laps, biding his time. Quick through Coram, Knight was covered by Jewell into the chicane, but a good exit led them to side by side down the straight onto the final lap. As ever, there was action throughout the strong field. David Skeggs was making his way up the order, but at his favoured passing point, Russell chicane, he hit Bartlett in an optimistic move. They were joined by Denman for a few laps, but that didn't last either, as first Bartlett retired with a wheel rubbing, then with Denman slow out of the chicane. A closely tracking Skeggs had nowhere to go and no option but to return to the pits. Behind them, Hay and Chong were spinning in the chicane as the mid-pack were no less aggressive than those ahead of them. Marcus, a fantastic result, and you almost made it look easy.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I mean, the car was really good in the wet. I managed to pull out a gap. There was a bit of a gaggle behind me, but then as it dried up, James made it really difficult. I knew he would. I kind of lost third gear, so I get another great racing driver excuse there. But yeah, it was good fun, and it would have been quite lonely, but James, really gave it a battle at the end, and I was being a bit cheeky. I think another couple of laps, and he may have had me, to be honest.
James, you seemed to take a good start and a fantastic result, and you were really catching up with Marcus at the end there.
Yeah, it was a race of two phases really. I think we got Rob stayed ahead of me on the start, so it took a while getting past him, but it was a question of chasing Marcus down, which isn't easy. It got easier as the track got drier, because I think my car's better suited to dry than his, but couldn't quite get past him in the length of the race, so I was sort of lobbying for it to be extended by 5 laps. But no, it was good, very good fun, very good race.
Mick, it seemed to be reasonably difficult conditions out there.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy your race?
Very much so. It was very difficult right from the start. As we went down the start straight, it really came down heavy, and that was quite worrying. And I feel lucky to have finished third and not have come off, to be honest. So I'm happy.
Are you not a big fan of the wet?
Yes, but only when I'm on wet settings. I was on dry settings, so it was difficult. It was scary.
Yeah, I know it's an amazing weekend here for the Lotus Festival. How does it feel for you being part of one of the greatest historical names in Formula One?
Well, I was pretty much surprised when I came here this morning. 20,000 people, couldn't believe the passion. It's really around this corner, around the streets, and obviously being here with Lotus, with such a great brand for all motorsport passionate, it's really good. I am enjoying this day, and as much as Ike, I think. And we are having fun. We're eating burger, and we are talking and meeting people, and we are paying tribute to one of the best constructors in the world.
Absolutely. I mean, I noticed you were having the burger actually since you mentioned it. That's not the food of a Formula One driver, is it?
Well, it's down to the team. It's their fault. We have nothing else to eat.
They're not looking after you very well then.
At the moment, no. But it's okay. For a special day like this, it's okay.
And next weekend in Valencia, it's Lotus's 500th Grand Prix. How does that feel to be part of that?
Well, it's another big event. Well, obviously, any of the Lotus drivers will probably come, and I am one of them, so I'm really happy.
In terms of Lotus, historically, it's one of the biggest names. You've been in Formula One a while yourself as well. How have you seen the sport change? How have you seen it move forward?
It's a new era, I believe, even if the story continues, but for a while it's been stopped. So now it's nice to bring Lotus brand back in Formula One in the motorsport where it belongs to, but there's still a long way to get it where really it belongs, to the top.
And what do you see needs to be changed to take it there?
Well, it's just a question of time and work.
Heike, it's a pretty incredible weekend. What's your involvement?
Well, I'm obviously here, with the current racing team, and our test driver is going to drive the car around the track today. And I will also be driving together with Jana some of the historic cars around, and it's great to see a lot of fans. A Lotus coming back to UK, and ahead of our next 2 Grand Prix, obviously Valencia, Silverstone, important Grand Prix for us. So it's a big event for us. Great to see so many people here.
And of course, being almost on the doorstep of the home of Lotus as well.
Yeah, exactly. We're not far from where the Lotus cars, the classic Lotus cars, are based now, where actually the whole Lotus racing story started. And even from Hingham, where our current base is, it's very near here, and we have a lot of staff here, obviously, and a lot of people involved, so it's great. This
weekend you're driving some of the historic cars. How do they compare to today's cars?
They feel obviously very different. They can clearly feel and see the different eras. They don't have the same grip and the same power, and they don't perform like the modern Formula One car, but they feel good. They really feel comfortable to drive, and I've been driving 3 other cars, 25, the 49 and the 77 I drove, and they feel fantastic. It's a privilege for me to get this kind of experience, because not many people get a chance to feel what the guys years ago felt, so it's great.
And in terms of Valencia next weekend, I know you mentioned that earlier, it's your 500th Grand Prix, well, it's Lotus's 500th Grand Prix. And for you, historically, to be part of that must be quite something.
Yeah, it's a big milestone for the team, and Lotus's history is such that we have to be delivering good results in the short time, and even with the current team, we need to be making progress like we've done already, and I'm sure it will be a great event for us. Clive Chapman will be there, and a lot of Lotus ex-Lotus drivers will be there, and it's the fourth most successful team even currently in Formula One. So it's we are a very strong history behind our team.
So you got a bit of pressure there to keep that success going.
I put a lot of pressure on myself anyway, so I'm not bothered about that. I'm just very happy about the progress that we made so far. I think we made more progress than I was hoping that we would do by this time of the season, and we're not far from the established teams. We were only 2 tenths behind a Sauber in Montreal in qualifying, and we finished ahead of Renault. So we are making steps forward, and it's important we keep this momentum going. Now it's the next 2 or 3 steps is going to be crucial to be able to make that step. We got to work very hard, and that's what we're fully focused.
And you certainly seem to have a good relationship with Jarno as well.
Yeah, he's working really well. He's a very good driver. We're both pushing the team very hard to make improvements, that we know the direction where we want to go, and he's a very quick driver. So when he goes and beats my time, I gotta really work to beat him back. So it's good fun.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll let you go off and enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, thanks to FIA, they gave us a sanction to do it for the Lotus Classic Festival thing. So I think it's great to be here, especially at Lotus home, in front of the home crowd here in Norfolk. It's good to be back in here to drive the Formula 1 car, and also to watch the old Formula 1 Classic Team Lotus. So it's good to see all those Formula 1 cars those days until now, which is good.
And are you getting to drive one of the old classic cars?
Yeah, I'm going to. In fact, now I'm enjoying it. I think that will be the most important thing that need to have to do in my book. And I mean, I'm driving the Type 72, which is Emerson Fittipaldi, which is the winning car. So it will be a good experience for me to see the difference between the modern Formula 1 car and the old Formula 1 car.
And especially to step straight out of the current F1 car into the classic.
Pardon? Yeah, that's right. I think it's a good experience. So we will see what is the difference. I mean, of course, there's a proper man's car whereas the gearbox is you need to change the gearbox, you use a clutch, and the Formula 1 nowadays is more about the technologies. But it's good to be back. I mean, I'm enjoying myself here.
Simon, in and amongst the campsite, we bump into you, Lotus Press and PR. How did your involvement come about?
Well, about 6 or 7 years ago, I bought an Elise, joined the club, and just got involved with the club stuff. Part of which were the track days, which then evolved into the race series. I normally go and watch racing anyway, so I thought, right, okay, let's come along to a few of these. This will be good fun. People I know, bit of racing, and I think in the end Paul kind of thought, well, he's hanging around every week, he's a bit of a spare part, we might as well give him something to do, so he let me do the press.
And you enjoy doing it?
Love it, absolutely enjoy it. It's something I've always wanted to do anyway, so if no one's going to pay me for it, I might as well do it for fun.
There's a great atmosphere in and amongst the Lotus stuff. I can understand why you keep coming back and why we all do. Even over here, we've got somebody offering you beer, I believe.
Very much. That's lovely. Thanks. Is that real beer in there?
It's a really social thing to be doing, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's great fun. I mean, the amount of people I know, I mean, we've got a huge campsite here, and there's probably a good, probably half the people there I've met before for events. I do tend to attend the opening of envelopes and that sort of thing, but it adds to the fun.
And I'd noticed in the Selloc newsletter there was 14 things to do at Snetterton. Was that your responsibility, that article?
Apparently, yes. Just knock up a quick article. They've got to find someone that's been here, and I'm probably spent years here anyway. So who's going to know it better than me?
So what's the atmosphere like here in the campsite?
Well, we're quite a civilised bunch, really. We sort of sit around table reading books. I was working my way through War and Peace today, and then we have take tea about 3 o'clock, and then perhaps around about 6 or 7 we might just have a glass of wine and kick back and enjoy the day.
I was told to move over to this part of the campsite to meet the Dutch contingent, who are said to be in their numbers to rival the Irish fans. However, there's nobody here. Oh well, let's go and meet the Essex lot. Well, it wouldn't be a festival without coming across this motley crew here in the campsite. Where are you from, people?
Essex!
And having an absolutely raucous time, as you'd expect. Let's pick on you over here. When did you all arrive?
About 12:30.
Oh, so you've only come down today? Well, I have to say, the Irish have been here since Thursday, so why haven't you not been here that long?
Because of the weather.
True English weather. So what brings you down here? Lotus enthusiast, do you drive yourself?
Lotus Racing, that's what we come for.
And do you race yourself?
I wish I could, couldn't afford it.
Stick to the track days. Who else do we pick on? Over here, you're looking a little bit cold. What's the plan for this evening?
Lots of Essex girls, lots of beer. What more can you want?
Well, there you go. If you're from Essex and you're not here, then you're in the wrong place. We've met plenty of people having a fantastic time here, and there's more to come with the barbecue and the live music going on throughout the evening. Tomorrow we'll have all the on-track action, and we'll bring you that in the next show from here at Snetterton.